Hey there, I'm Kent Love, and today I'm going to share with you an insight I've gained from all my years of working with psychedelic medicine. This comes from the Do-It-Yourself Psychedelic Guide you can find at thefunguide.com. I'll put a link in the description to that. That breaks down the whole process of using psychedelics for healing and growth, and it's just got a lot of useful information in there for anybody who's looking to use these medicines for that purpose. You know, when you take psychedelic medicine, once that medicine kicks in, a lot of stress and pressure, you can feel very anxious. It can be very difficult. The reason this happens is because we're still perceiving things through our ego. The ego is this idea of being a separate individual self. The ego is like a bunch of arrows pointing inward. Me, I'm this, I'm that. And we may not be thinking that, having thoughts of that, but it's like a framing a perception at which we perceive things. When you're in the psychedelic realm, you're connecting to this infinite connection of consciousness. And if you're still perceiving things through this individual ego perception, that can be very overwhelming. It can be very difficult. We're not just an ego, we are consciousness. We're not just an individual in our consciousness, we are our consciousness. And when you're in a psychedelic experience, that's something that's taking the lead. Normally our ego, the idea of being an individual, is what we're perceiving things through, but on a psychedelic journey, we want to be tapping into the opposite aspect of what we are. We want to be tapping into the consciousness aspect of what we are. The way I think about doing this that I find the most useful is don't have a conscious experience. Be your conscious experience. Be your consciousness. Be everything you see, be everything you hear, be everything you feel, be everything you think. And even if you sense a different presence there with you on that journey, be that. Be everything. Just allow everything to be what it is and recognize that is what you are. You are your consciousness. You are everything that's taking place. One way we can achieve this is by taking higher doses of the medicine. But if we get to that egolessness through taking a higher dose, it's not really going to transfer over to our everyday life that well. All the suffering we go through comes from us putting this ego stress on ourselves. And when we're on the journey, if we can find this pathway out of that, this pathway to just letting things be what they are, connecting to ourselves just kind of as this infinite consciousness, then when we're out of the journey, we're going to have that same pathway within us. And, we may not be able to transcend our ego. You can, if some people devote their life to that. And, you can achieve that while not on psychedelics, just through meditation and certain life practices. But you don't need to do that. Just getting beyond these kind of egoic pressures and stress we put on ourselves in our everyday life can have a big impact. If we can find a pathway beyond that within our psychedelic experience, then we're going to be better off finding a pathway beyond that in our everyday life. This is something I hope will help you on your travels, and have a safe trip.